Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm a bit late to the party. I was tagged in this mum tag video by Kelly Metcalf. Hello Brady. Go away. I was tagged by Kelly Metcalf quite a while ago, but I just haven't got around to filming it. So now he's going to knock that over. Leave it, Brady. Okay, so this is the brand new mum tag video, started off by Emily Norris, so I'll tag her channel down below, as well as Kelly's channel, so you can go and watch her mum tag video as well. It's 15 questions, all about being a mum. Now, I am a mum of older children, so some of these things will be when they were younger, and some will be now they're older. He wants to play with his mum. Go play. Okay, so question number 1 is, I've got them written down here, favourite mum hack. Now, my favourite hack, it's probably not a hack, it's just a bit of advice really, I suppose. Always have snacks. Whenever you go out, no matter how old your child is, apart from obviously if they don't eat yet, always have snacks. Even now, with mine being teenagers, always have snacks. What else can I say? Always have something in your bag ready to give them when they're having a meltdown or they're starving, because sometimes you can't just go and buy something because you're somewhere where there isn't a shop, or there's something that they sell things that they don't like. So always have snacks. Mum hack. Okay, question number 2, most embarrassing mum moment. Well, there are a few that Ashley did, but he's told me I can't say. Things that we were in the shops and he would say something quite loudly about somebody. That was quite embarrassing, but he's told me I'm not allowed to actually say what they are. But other than that is when you're out with with any child, but with twins, and they're both crying, screaming. That's quite embarrassing. You feel like everybody's looking at you. And you just want to melt away because you feel like you're being judged, and you're probably not, but you feel like it. Okay, question number 3. What part of the day do you love the most? Well, to be honest, at the moment, during the week, there probably isn't a part of the day that I love the most, because, you know, you're at work, then you're cooking dinner, then I go to work in the evening, and you know, so it's all full on. But probably at the weekends, because that's when we get to spend time as a family. They're my favourite parts, well, parts of the week rather than parts of the day, or when Ashley's around, because he's away a lot, so when he's around, then they're my favourite parts. As a mum, it's just spending time with your children really, isn't it? So any time that you're doing that. Question number, where are we? Oh, 4. What part of the day do you like the least? Well, mornings probably, because it's just one big rush. You're trying to make lunches. I should listen to other people's mum hacks and make the lunches the night before, but I don't. I always think sandwiches are better if they're fresh rather than being in the fridge overnight, so I don't make sandwiches the night before. But yeah, it's always a rush, trying to get the girls ready. You know, even now, come on, you're not ready? Are you ready? Sitting on their phones. But I've stopped them using their phones in the morning now, and we stopped watching telly in the mornings a long time ago because that slows them down. So we banned telly in the mornings before school. So they're my least favourite parts of the day really, the morning. Next question. The worst thing someone said to you when you were pregnant? Well, when I was pregnant with Ashley, I was a teenager, so I was a teenage mum. So although I never actually had anything said to me personally, I had things said to somebody else who then passed it on to me. So about being pregnant just to get a house, just to get benefits. For your information, I didn't claim any benefits, and I didn't have a house either. But they can be quite hurtful comments. Baby name you didn't agree on? Well, most of them, to be honest. I think the only ones we agreed on were Chloe and Lucy. Hence why they don't have middle names either, because we couldn't agree on any more. But Craig I've said this in a video before, but Craig wanted to, if they were boys, to name them the surnames of the Barcelona football team. I wasn't keen on them, funnily enough, because they were the surnames rather than the first names. So yeah, we didn't agree on that. And I don't think we agreed on any boys' names, so it's a good job we had girls, really, because they would be nameless. Okay, so do you co-sleep? Not at the moment. Can you imagine trying to co-sleep with two teenagers? Nah, not happening. And actually we didn't when they were younger either, because again, with twins, I'm not sure they would have fitted, to be honest. So no, we didn't co-sleep. I was quite lucky that they were pretty good sleepers, the girls. Ashley wasn't great at getting off to sleep. I used to have to take him for a drive in the car, get him to sleep in his car seat, and then carry him in and put him in his cot. So he wasn't so good, but the girls, I think I learned from that. I thought, I'm not doing that again. The girls, because we couldn't rock them or anything, they were just put in their cot and actually they went to sleep. So I was actually quite lucky. Number 8, something you bought but never used. I bought, when I was pregnant with Ashley, I bought one of them nappy bins that you put the nappy in, you twist it, and then it sort of goes in like almost like sausages, nappies, and it's supposed to be better. Well, it's such a faff. It's easier just to chuck it in a bin. So I used it a couple of times and then yeah, didn't use that anymore. And also I found like the bottle warmers as well. I never really used them. It was just as easy just to boil some water and warm them up that way. So I didn't use that either. But I think that's the only things that I bought that didn't really use. So that's not too bad. And next question is 3 hospital bag must-haves. Right, okay, so we're going back a little bit here. I would say have some treats for you for afterwards, because you deserve it. Big, big, big knickers. Whatever's the most comfortable knickers, and big, big pads. Lots of them. If you think you've got enough, get more. Always get more. They're probably the 3 most must-have things, I think, if I'm remembering back right. Are you a routine mum or go with a flow mum, and what does bedtime look like? Well, bedtime now is quite handy. They obviously go to bed themselves. But back when they were babies, I was a routine mum. So from about 2 months, I put them into a routine because everything was just all over the place and it was just doing my head in. So I decided to put them into a routine. So they would have, when they were babies, they would have a bath. I'd obviously get them ready for bed with a little bit of a massage. Then they would have a bottle, and then they would have a book, and then be put into bed. And that was the routine, bedtime routine. Obviously now they don't have, I'm rubbish with routine, if I'm honest. I'm not very good. I get bored of doing the same thing. So we don't have a routine at the moment now. They usually have a shower. They sometimes read a little bit of their book and then they go to bed. That's about it. There's not really a routine anymore. What type of labour did you have and what pain relief did you choose? Okay, so with Ashley, it was, I think it was pretty quick really. I'm not really sure. I think it was about 6 hours. But for your first, it's quite quick. But yes, it was painful. So I asked for, back then, obviously nearly 22 years ago, they had a thing called Meptid injection, which is like a pethidine injection to help with the pain. So I had that, didn't really do anything. So I did ask for an epidural. But by the time they'd come, because it was in the middle of the night, by the time someone had come through and put drip in and etc., I was too far gone. I couldn't have the epidural, so I just had the Meptid injection, and I did have gas and air, but it made me feel really, really sick and dizzy and didn't seem to do anything, so I stopped using that. And then with the girls, because I was high risk, I was already advised to have an epidural just in case something went wrong. I already had it in and was ready to go and could go into surgery straight away. So that's what I did with them. But before that I did use gas and air, and actually I found it really helpful with them. So it's funny how, you know, so different. And as I say, then I had the epidural. I did have, they wanted to do it just so it was a little bit, so I could still feel what was going on. So that's what they did, but then it was really, really painful still. It was more painful than before. And what there was a kink in the tube, so I wasn't actually getting anything. So then they just decided to put full whack in and I couldn't feel a thing, which is nice in some ways because there's no pain, but I couldn't actually feel anything. So I couldn't feel if I was pushing. So they're saying push, and I'm thinking, am I? I don't know if I am because I can't feel it. But it meant there was no pain, and that was all quite quick and all went well, so that was good. I have got a video of my twin pregnancy and birth, so you can check that out if you want more info on that. Have you ever been mum shamed? No, not really. I don't think I've ever really been mum shamed that I can remember. My memory's rubbish. No, I don't think I have really. Been quite lucky. If they have said stuff or done stuff, then they've not done it to my face, so, or I'm completely oblivious to it. My next question is the biggest challenges you faced since becoming a mum. Oh, well, there's different sets of challenges as they get older. I remember because I was the first one to have a child in my group of friends, obviously because I had Ashley really young. My friends always used to ask me, does it get easier? Does it get easier? I wouldn't say it gets easier, it just changes. So, you know, when they're babies, it's the sleepless nights, that's a challenge. You know, trying to survive on like no sleep, that's a challenge. And I think it's harder than what you think it is. You think, oh yeah, I've been out all night, I can do that. But when it's every night and you've still got to function, that's a challenge. When they're toddlers, especially with twins, they run in different directions every time. That's a challenge. Trying to take twins to have their injections, that's a challenge. But nothing is more challenging than a teenager. Believe me. Give me twin babies anytime over a teenager. They're horrible. They really can be quite nasty, teenagers. But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest challenge, and I've got that to come with my girls. Number 14, the best bit of advice you've been given, biggest piece of advice you'd give to a new mum. Okay, do what's best for you. Okay, don't have someone go, you've got to bottle feed, or, well, they don't say that, you've got to breastfeed. If you really don't want to breastfeed, then don't. It's your baby, it's your body, do what you think is right for you. Trust your instincts. If you think that that's something that should be right, then do it. Don't listen to what other people are doing, don't compare to other people. Just because Joe Blogg's down the road doing it doesn't mean it's right for you and your family and your child. Do whatever you think is right for you. That's what I'd say. Don't get caught up in what everyone else is doing. Just, yeah, do your own thing. But I have got another piece of advice for if you're a twin mum, if you're pregnant with twins. When one of them wakes up in the night, wake the other one up and feed them both together. Otherwise you will be awake all night. Because as soon as one finishes feeding, the next one will wake up, and then you have to feed that. And then by the time you've done that, excuse me, then the first one wakes up again, and it's just a vicious circle. Feed them together. Even during the day, feed them together. Otherwise you are literally feeding all day. So if one wakes up for a feed the other one. That's my biggest bit of advice. And last question is, who's your mum crush and who do you tag? Okay, well, of course it's got to be Emily Norris. I mean, she's just got it together, hasn't she? You know, she's beautiful, she's got a lovely home, her kids are lovely, and she just looks like she's got her shit together all the time. Also Mrs. Meldrum for the same reasons. And I am going to tag I've got to list it, I've got written them down. Okay, so, and I'll try and link their channels down below as well, so you can go and watch their mum tag video. Forever Evans, A Mummy's Tale, Susie Vlogs, Samantha Claire Ellison, and Emily Beatrice. So I hope I said that right. They're the ones I tag, so you can go and check out their videos. If you're not already subscribed to mine, then I'd love you to stick around, and I'll see you all next time.